How to lose fat. This video is probably going to be the only video you're going to be watching on fat loss, because I am going to be giving you the knowledge, the wisdom that is going to help you lose approximately 10 kilograms of fat in a single month. My name is Salman and welcome to my YouTube channel. Over here we talk about looks maxing and self-improvement. If you also want to improve yourself, make sure you hit the subscribe button, my brother. Alright guys, let's keep it very simple and candid, and let's talk about fat loss. First of all, what is fat? Fat is stored energy. In simple words, it's stored energy, and you gotta make sure that your body enables itself to use that stored energy as fuel, so that down the road you end up losing fat. Now let's say you are about 150 kilos, all right? So when you go on a deficit, let's say you started doing like 1500 or 1800, you're gonna instantly start losing weight fast, because when you cut down on carbs, what happens is the body loses a lot of water and glycogen weight in the first 30 days. Then your body slowly moves into the real fat burning, where it kind of slows down. You might probably lose maybe a kilo or 1.5 kilo in 15 days, and maximum hardly 4 kilos or maybe 2 kilos in a month. So when we come to the real fat burning, it actually slows down. And you must be thinking, how am I so confident talking about this? Because hundreds of people have benefited from my videos and my services, which I have sold over here successfully in Pakistan. And I have a client who lost about 11 kilos of weight in 30 days. Obviously most of it was water and glycogen weight. Now he is converting his body into real fat burning, and it's going great. You know, he started out at 115. Now he's at 93.5 in 45 days, which is just amazing. Okay guys, you gotta follow a few rules. Okay, focus on these 5 rules and you will also start losing fat as well. First, I'm gonna get out with the most basic thing, and that is you need to follow a caloric deficit. Okay, now in my humble opinion, you could be 100 kg plus and you could easily follow a 1500 calorie diet if you have enough protein in it. Okay, leads me to my second thing. You need to calculate your protein. Every time you are thinking of like, okay, I'm gonna lose this amount of fat, the second thing you gotta care about is you need to understand how much protein your body needs. For example, if you're 100 kilos, you need to multiply 2 by 100. It's going to be approximately 200. So you need about 200 grams of protein. That's ideally what you need, but you could do 150, minimum 120, but you gotta stay above 100 grams of protein. Okay, leads me to my third thing. You need to focus on effectively working out your body. Listen, a body that doesn't move is not burning calories. Okay, you cannot just primarily depend on your basal metabolic rate. Okay, that you shouldn't primarily depend on that. Your body is naturally using calories to stay alive, but that's not enough. Okay, what you're gonna do is you're gonna hit the gym, you're gonna train hard. Okay, you gotta lift those weights, you gotta do those pull-ups, you gotta run the treadmill. You know, you gotta really train your body. A lot of people, what they do is they're gonna follow a fat loss plan or diet, but they're not gonna effectively train their body. Bro, this is what you gotta care about. You need to be building strong muscles underneath that fat. By the time you lose that fat, your skin doesn't hang loose and your skin stays tight, and you have a very nice and good looking physique with broad shoulders. All right, now moving on to my fourth point, which is one of the most crucial points that a lot of people miss out, is walk, which is considered one of the best fat loss exercises you can do. And why am I talking about fat loss? Because fat loss is very important when it comes to looks maxing. Yeah, I'm not joking, bro. If you really want to effectively looks max, if you want to jawline max, if you really want to lean max, get those cheekbones popping, you gotta really dial down the right calculations so that you could effectively lose fat and you could simply have those cheekbones popping. You have that PSL look which you are going for. Alright guys, now coming to my last point, and just like all important point, this point is also very important, and this is more of a psychological thing. That is, don't give up. And the reason I'm saying this is because fat loss can be very hard. Because you see the scale, your weight is going down. Okay, first 30 days, you're very, very motivated. But after those 30 days, the next 30 days, then after those 30 days, the third 30 days. Let's say you're about to hit 90 days, your fat loss, the speed of the weight losing is simply gonna drop. And how effectively you're gonna lose in that period is primarily dependent on how hard you're working your body, how effectively you're in a deficit, and how effectively you're following the diet, and how effectively you're working out. So a lot of things are contributing in this. So if you really want to go from, let's say, a low MTN to a high tier normie, lose fat. I'm not joking, bro. Lose fat. And you're going to be surprised. All of those beautiful facial features that you have on your face are simply gonna start showing. Alright guys, so this was it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below if there is any specific topic you want me to cover in the next video. And just like that, keep mocking the haters, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Salman, over and out.